So hello and a very good afternoon YouTube. I hope each one of you are doing absolutely fine, working extremely hard in your own life and enjoying life as well. Well, it's a Sunday afternoon and I thought of adjusting the slack of the drive chain of the CV350. Well, you guys must be knowing that a couple of months back I had uh, made a video on how to actually adjust how to check the slack of the drive chain, and I just had shown the procedure in that video, but I had not done it in real time. So today I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to adjust the slack of the drive chain of the CB350 in real time. But yes, you could refer to that video as well, as I had actually shown with the help of a measuring scale of how to actually measure the slack of the drive chain. But in today's video I won't be using the scale. I had gathered the experience in due course of time by doing this particular task again and again. So but yes, you could refer to that video if you are just starting to perform this particular task by yourself. So please stay tuned and watch the video till the end, as in this video you would get to know exactly what I do in step-by-step procedure of how to adjust the drive chain of this particular motorcycle. The very first thing which you need to take care of is that the drive chain of the motorcycle should be absolutely clean. That is very important, guys. Otherwise you're going to end up having a wrong slack, because the dirt in the drive chain is going to give you a wrong reading, I mean wrong adjustment, let me put it like that. So make sure that the drive chain is absolutely clean. I did not lube the chain as of now, but you could lube it and then adjust it. It's up to you, but I prefer cleaning the chain first and then adjusting it. And after I'm done with the adjustment, I'm satisfied with the chain slack which I had adjusted to, only then I go ahead and lube the chain. The chain sprocket of this motorcycle has been cleaned today morning. Let me take you closer. So as you could see, guys, the chain is absolutely clean. Like if I touch it, you won't find any dirt. Okay, so the chain sprocket is absolutely clean, and now I'm going to start the process. So please stay tuned. So the tools which we need to adjust the drive chain slack of the Honda CB350 is a 24mm ring wrench, to undo and tighten the axle nut, a 19mm ring wrench to hold the bolt from the other end, the axle bolt on the other end, because it generally moves around when we tighten or loosen this particular axle nut. So we need a 19mm for holding on to the axle head on the other end. And we need an 8mm open head spanner. So the 24mm ring wrench, let me put it over here in the axle nut, and I would be holding the axle head on the other end with the help of the 19mm ring wrench. Once it is loose, we may remove the ring wrench from its position, and then we need to come on the chain sprocket side. So as you could see, guys, this is the adjuster nut. Okay, this small 8mm nut is the adjuster nut, which either pulls the wheel towards the rear of the motorcycle, which in turn tightens the slack, or it pushes the wheel towards the front of the motorcycle, so it increases the slack, right? So this particular nut, if I turn it anti-clockwise, then the wheel goes towards the rear of the motorcycle and it tightens the slack of the chain. Okay, it reduces the slack, to be precise. So you would see that. Okay, just follow this tension, and I am going to turn this anti-clockwise. Okay, just follow the tension of the chain. Okay, did you see that, guys? It is getting tightened. Now see, it has got tightened, the slack has reduced. So if I even tighten it more, now see, there is hardly any slack. So I just did this to make you understand that this is the nut which by turning which you could either decrease or increase the slack in the drive chain. Of course, this is not the desired drive chain slack which I would like to keep in my motorcycle. I just did this for your reference, so that you guys can understand how I do it. So this is the nut. If you turn it anti-clockwise, it is going to reduce the slack in the drive chain and make it tighten. And if I turn it clockwise, just have a watch in the tension of the drive chain. Okay, as you guys can see, the tension is decreasing and the slack has increased, right? It is even going to increase more if I turn it more clockwise. Okay, saw it? It is now touching the swing arm. So this is the story over here, basically, through which you got to adjust the slack of the drive chain, right? So let me now try and bring out the desired slack which I would like to keep in my motorcycle by adjusting through this nut. Just remember one thing, guys: anti-clockwise is reducing slack and tightening the chain, and clockwise is increasing the slack and loosening the chain. Okay, and another thumb rule which you should follow, that is, now let me first bring it to yeah a standard slack has been derived. So yes, another thumb rule which you should keep in mind, that is, you should check the slack on various locations when you rotate the wheel, and while you do so, just mark a particular position where the chain is the tightest or the slack on the drive chain is the lowest. So I'm just trying to search the tightest position, because no chain, no drive chain in the world is absolutely uniform in all the location. You got to find out the tightest location. Okay, now see here, it has this much amount of slack. Now see here, the slack is a bit less. I don't know whether camera is doing any justice to this or not, but in real time I am feeling it that this location is tighter. So I would take this location as the reference and adjust the slack of the drive chain. Okay, so as I said, guys, please refer to my previously made video on how I put a scale over here and calculate the exact slack by moving the chain downwards and then upwards and then calculating the difference. So those all things I have already done in one of my previous videos made around 3 months back. I would definitely attach a link to that video in the description of this video also, so you could check that video as well. So this is the tightest location which I could find in the drive chain all through the rotation, and I adjusted the slack with this reference, and I'm satisfied with the slack at the moment. So now this is something, guys, I cannot show or make you understand directly through the video. You got to do it yourself, and if you're not happy with the result, you got to redo the thing once again, and if you're still not happy, then you have to keep on doing it until you reach that particular sweet spot. And I can assure you one thing: after doing it once or twice, you should be good enough, and the next time it should not take much time. That's how I learned it previously in my previous motorcycles, and that is how you generally get to know all these stuffs. These are mechanical. I can just show you in my videos. I can just show you the procedures, the steps of how to do it. But if you're doing it yourself, you got to there are a few things that I cannot directly show in the video. I mean, it is not possible to show rather through the video. So you got to do it yourself, and find it out yourself. So this is something which I could feel in my hand and understand whether the slack is will work out for me as per my riding style or not. So now let's go to the next step, and that is the alignment of the wheel. Since I had touched this adjuster, so I got to align it. I got to align the wheel. So now let's see how that is done. Okay, you would find there are marks over here, right? Now please pardon me for my nails, guys. I could not find time to trim them. Sorry about that. Please ignore it. As you could see, let me grab onto something more convenient first. There are marks over here, like this is the first one, this is the second one, right? I hope you could see that. The first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth, sixth. So when we tighten the chain, okay, when we tighten the chain, the wheel comes out, and these marks, they come out also. Okay, you also have this chassis over here, right? This one, as you could see, the chassis part of the swing arm, I mean, so this is a reference point. Okay, this particular end of the chassis is the reference point with which you got to tally the location of this one, right? So if I hold the camera absolutely straight or 90 degrees to it, so now if we follow, then this is the end point of the swing arm, right? And this end point is directly matching to the number 2, or the end point is just after the number 2, right? Well, that's something which you got to figure out in your motorcycle, because I am trying my best to show you all through the camera, but I'm not sure that how much of it you all would understand. But these are the reference marks which are done on the this adjuster, and you got to tally one of the reference mark with the chassis over here, and you got to ditto it on the other end. That's the story over here. Let me just go on the other side. Well, it's a bit difficult on this side, but still I would try. A similar thing is present because of the exhaust pipe. It is becoming a bit difficult to show you all. Okay, let me just show you all like this. Yep. So in this case also, as you guys can see, the chassis or the swing arm is ending over here, and this one is at 1, 2, and just at 3, right? Yep, that one is ending just at 3. So we need to adjust it, right? So as you guys can see, if I'm turning it clockwise, it's actually getting out, so I need to turn it anti-clockwise. because on that side it was in between the 2 and the 3 mark, right? And now it's just at 3, so soon it will be in between the 2nd and the 3rd mark. So yes, now it is more or less in between the 2nd and the 3rd mark, right? So let me just go that side and check the drive chain slack again, and as you could see, it has tightened up again. So I got to lose it again, and to do that we need to turn it clockwise, right? Just a little bit, and it has become, the slack has increased and it is more now. So let me just turn it anti-clockwise a little bit, right? And it's perfect now. Okay, right? So I'm sorry guys, it was quite difficult to make you all to show on the other side how it is done, due to the exhaust coming in between. But just make sure that whatever you do on this side, I mean the adjuster, this chassis thing, and these reference points, whatever is the level on this side, it should be ditto on the other side. Okay, not more, not less. It should be absolutely the same. Okay, so let me now repeat the basic thing. I mean the basic thing over here, that is, you find this chassis, this black color thing, the swing arm, it is ending over here, right? And these are the reference points. So whatever you adjusted over here, once you're happy with the slack, then come to this one, see this one, where this particular, these reference mark is getting tallied with the chassis ending over here, right? And you got to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and then again check the slack of the drive chain. If it has made tighter, then you got to readjust it again, once again, the whole process of adjustment, and then again checking this side and checking that side. And only after doing it for 2-3 times, if you are successful and if you are happy with the drive chain slack, then we will proceed. Okay, so let me now do that first and then we'll continue the video. So yes guys, now I am done with the adjustment which was required for the drive chain. I have derived the desired drive chain slack which I wanted in my motorcycle, and once that is done, so now I'm continuing with the process, the ending step basically, that is we got to tighten the axle nut on this side. Okay, so for that, again, just the way we loosened it, we need to tighten it back. So we need to hold the axle head on the other end with the help of this 19mm ring wrench, and we got to tighten the axle nut with the help of the 24mm ring wrench. Once you're done with all these things, then the last step is to again come on this side of the motorcycle and check whether the slack is what you desired. There is enough slack. Now yes, there is a possibility that after you completed everything, and lastly when you check the slack for the last time, you find that the chain has become again tight. That is also possible, quite possible. So if that is the case, then you got to redo everything once again. So guys, let me just tell you one thing. When you sit for adjusting the slack of your drive chain, please keep a lot of time in your hand. Okay, this could take up a lot of time. Okay, so please keep that in your mind and work accordingly. So yes guys, finally the adjustment, slack adjustment of the drive chain for the CB350 has been done. I actually had to redo the whole thing once again, since I was not I was having some amount of doubt in the slack. I was feeling that it was kind of a bit more tight. I mean, the slack was somewhat less than what I desire in my motorcycle, so I had to redo the whole thing once again, and then only I could get the satisfaction which I wanted from the drive chain slack. So as I said guys, this thing could take some time, so please keep some good amount of time in your hand when you sit for adjusting the slack of the drive chain of your motorcycle. If you desire to do it by yourself, the professionals, they take very less amount of time, since they are doing it day in day out. But we are enthusiasts, and we are passionate about all these things, and since we are working on our own motorcycle, so we do it with love and care, and that's why it takes some good amount of time to do these kinds of hardcore stuffs with all these tools and all. So please take your time and do it with love. If you are doing it in your motorcycle by yourself, that's what I would like to advise you all. And yes, I would be lubing the chain now, since I did not lube it. As you guys just saw, I had to touch the chain several times while in the process, and if the chain was lubed, my hand would become dirty all the time, and it becomes very difficult to work with such sticky hands, sticky fingers. So that's why I did not lube it before I adjusted the chain. And once now, as the drive chain is properly adjusted, so now I can go ahead and I can lube the chain. So I would do that in a moment, and then the process would be completed completely. So that was it guys. I just wanted to share how I adjust the slack of the drive chain of the CB350. I hope this video was useful, and I hope that you liked this video. If you liked the video, please do hit the like button and share the video with your friends and family. And if you're absolutely new to this channel guys, it goes without saying, please do hit the subscribe button and the bell notification beside it, so you do not miss any update from my end. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Have a lovely evening ahead. Bye bye.